but it's holding close to the highs, at least closer to the highs than everything else that we've looked at this morning. So I think this is the obvious one to watch at the moment. Now, for the 5-minute setup, the break over 525, what we're looking for. See if we can get some good volume coming into this. Like too much is coming at the moment, which is unfortunate. BHTG now our highest gapper of the day, but still just looking flat. The thing is not doing much. AREC 18 million share float, so gonna take some decent volume for the back up. Now this move up above 516 is the 1 minute. Probably not gonna take a trade on it unless it starts looking a lot better. TKAT just popped up, but I mean, a little higher price, 6 million share float, not really too much volume to it. Not super interested in that unless it starts coming up even more. Keep on watching the other window. See, still holding up, which is good. Holding the view up right now, so still eyeing this for a move up now through 816. Get the move through 816. We'll be looking DK back a little. It's just such light volume on AREC. It's really unfortunate. Maybe coming into 8:30, we'll see some more. 2.5 minutes left on the 5-minute candle. The 5-minute high is 516. So still kind of the level that we're eyeing to break over. Also, we should keep an eye on BHTG still, since BHTG technically is still the highest gapper in the market at the moment, but has been moving sideways underneath view up. AREC just came down and tapped view up. So it's good that it's getting bought off view up right now. That's at least a good sign. Little tiny bit of increased volume on this candle, so people are buying off view up right now. So if we push up through 516, so bought a few shares at 516. So in for 20 shares right now at the moment. If we come up and we start breaking through 525, then we'll buy some more shares. So only got filled. All right, got filled with. Man, what a pullback. So got filled for 20 shares, pushing up through 525. Cost base is now at 520. This 1-minute candle, I'd like to see this 1-minute candle hold above 520. But it seems to be selling off quite a bit here. So I took off half my position as we came down. Seems like we're getting bought up. We got 15 seconds left on the 1 minute. 1 minute closing above 520 would be great. Like we're selling. 5 seconds left on this candle. See how the next candle starts. I expect to see some here. It's just an unfortunate breakout there on the 1 minute, especially the 5 minute. So the 5 minute pushing above 525. And then just immediately sold off coming up into 525. Just really unfortunate sell off there. Still holding above VWAP though, so it would look okay. I pretty much, so I figured I'd take the shot on this one. It was holding above VWAP, sideways consolidation, looking good. Decreased volume on the pullback. This green candle started having increased volume as it got bought up through VWAP, so increased volume on the push up. I mean, by all indications, it looked like a good time to buy. I could have tried to got out above 520 as it was coming back down, but I wanted to give it some time to see if we can get this move to resolve and come back up. Yeah, didn't end up working out. It's just the way it goes. Definitely can't avoid making losing trades. I mean, it's just part of trading. You just have to make sure that the trades you're taking are on the setups that you think are good. And if the setups are good, you have to follow them. So me buying as we came up through 515, I was targeting a loss down at 510. You know, so 5 cent loss there. And for the push above 525, if we came up to the pre-market highs, you know, somewhere in the 540 area was the first profit target. So, you know, I was looking for a 25-cent profit target and a 5-cent loss, which is pretty good for me. I bought again. I doubled down going into 525. So my cost base has moved up to, I think I was at like 519 or something like that, 520. So then we were looking at a 10-cent loss and a 20-cent profit as we moved up through the pre-market highs. Didn't end up working out, but gotta take the chances. I ended up selling off, you know, coming down into 515, so my loss ended up being less. You know, after we saw a pullback like this that popped up over 525, you know, did a 1 minute and a 5 minute breakout, and then immediately pull back to 520, you know, just like in essentially one tick, jumped back and forth. Definitely looked like a time to sell, so got out a little early, so saved some on the loss there. Yeah, down on ARAC and on the day. So yeah, $7 down on ARAC, $5 down on JG. So $12 down at the moment. I took a trade on BHTG earlier. So we go back here when BHTG was just coming up. At 702, I bought on this dip. So it pulled back, came down to, you know, 286. As it started pushing up through $3, I bought at 296. So I ended up buying at 296. I bought a little bit more, quarter of my position more, pushing up through 320, and then I ended up selling everything at 328. So decent trade on BHTG this morning that has offset the losses on my other two. Not too worried about that. OCG just popped up on the scanners, but I don't think it's really doing anything. Only up 8.5%. Not really the kind of thing that we're looking for at the moment. And TKAT just popped up again, but like I said, kind of like a higher price stock. And lower volume than what we want to see. And now, as you can see, AREC after this last failed to break out. It's just pulling back down below VWAP now. And it's kind of to be expected, so nothing out of the ordinary there. Check out OCG, but I mean, hasn't really moved too much. Just put in 5 green 1-minute candles in a row. So quite the move here after this pullback. Very high volume on the 5-minute candle. So we can keep an eye on this and see if anything comes out of it. TKAT. Out again. That's coming up as well, but definitely slower. More of a grinding stock, just like holding above VWAP right now. OCG on the daily. OCG on the daily actually can pee nice right now. So it's above all of the all-time highs except for this one candle back here. And on this candle back here, I mean, it's nearly $26 and pulled all the way down to 6 by the end of it. So you don't love to see that, but we had 2 green candles in the last week that held their moves throughout the day, which is really nice to see. So OCG might be one to keep an eye on here. Historically, it looks really nice. So we just need to find a setup to buy in on this. And then, yeah, we'll take smaller share size just because it is a higher price stock. Spreads are pretty tight, though, right now, which is good to see. Sometimes you see, like, $10 stocks and the spreads are, like, 45 cents. We were looking at one earlier today. And that's just, like, unacceptable spreads. I think the spreads right now I'm seeing on this are, between 1 and 4 cents, depending on where we're at. Pretty tight spread. Decreasing volume on the pullback. Nice. Very good volume on this uptick. 5-minute. By far the highest volume of this 5-minute candle. So everything is looking good. I would say we're a tiny bit extended. Put in 5 green candles in a row. But now it's putting in 3 red candles, which is good to see. 5 minutes, a little bit extended too, but nothing too serious. These previous levels, it seems to be bouncing off of the previous levels of resistance from earlier this morning. So this might be a time to buy as we're coming up here. So we'll see if it pushes up. Looks like we have buying coming into this. So, oh, that thing flew right past my buy order. So this is, problems with Thinkorswim. I mean, I tried to buy at 11:30 and it just immediately popped up to 11:50, and now I'm 20 cents away from the position that I wanted to be in. So not spectacular. Pulling back a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I might have to just let this trade go. The ideal place to be in was, at 11:33, and it was bouncing off this 11:23 level. I put the order in, just blew right past it, didn't get filled. Very, very unfortunate. Looks like TAOP may be coming up again. Had that on point today. TAOP. OCG. Put OCG on here. Alright, OCG and P. TAOP is terrible volume. Not one to do. Unfortunate on OCG. We'll see how this move ends up going, but we got robbed. Seems to be having a little trouble coming up into these pre-market highs. And also now, I mean, if this 5 minute candle, yeah, so the 5 minute candle just closed high, so now it's been, 4 green 5 minute candles in a row, which makes the 5 minute a little extended at the moment. So I'll wait. Maybe we'll get a pullback. Get a little bit of consolidation. I'd like it to pull down close to this, this like maybe the high of this last red candle. That could be a good place to pull back down to. And then maybe we can get a buy off that. Big wick on this red 1 minute candle, which is a indicator of indicator of some strong selling. As you can see, the now fairly high volume red candle, which is not super ideal. So it did push down to 1140. I'd say it's not quite as low as I would want it to go to buy. Take a dip trade off of it. Ideally, this 5 minute candle will close red, and then we'll try to get a trade on the 5 minute breakout. That's what I see. But the more selling right now, the better. I think we kind of are a bit overextended on the 5 minute, so we need a bit of a pullback. So it's coming down. Now it's coming into this level that I was talking about before. See if it holds up above it. It's got bought up off of this level, so pretty much the exact price that I wanted it to come down to. But these last two red candles have been on fairly high red volume, so I'm going to give it a second to see if it drops down through that level and maybe comes back down to this 1120 range that we were looking at before. A lot of green coming in. My God. Big buy order. Too. Several buy orders of 3,000+ shares, pushing it up there. A little bit of consolidation. Seems to be working some things out right now. So we'll give it time to do that. As I said before, I mean, we're looking at the 5 minute chart. We're looking at one huge green candle and 4 green candles in a row on the 5 minute. So this 5 minute closing red would be a good thing at the moment. So give people the opportunity to get a better entry. If this green candle closes, or if this candle closes green, then now we're 5 green candles deep on the 5 minute, and then there's no way I can really buy into that knowing how extended it is. Gotta give it some time to pull back and then find a better entry. So tapped off of 1133. One is the low of this consolidation period. So a little bit of ascending support right now. Coming down to 40 sounds good. It just broke through the ascending support level. Even holds above 33. I'm gonna take 10 shares just to see if we hold above this 1130 level, since it held above it pretty nicely and got bought off of it pretty quickly. My fill was just abysmal though. We're just coming into 830 and we got a few things popping up at the moment. I'm gonna actually sell off these shares that I just bought. See if we can hop onto one of these other bad boys. So SINO coming up, really nice volume. CCNC also popped up, but probably not something we're gonna buy just yet. Spreads on this stock are looking a little crazy. See if we can get a buy, on the bid here. If we can get it to push down to us. So our buy point, is going to be 1090. Bailout's going to be 1065. Only buying 10 shares at the moment. So it's coming down to this 1065. So it's the low currently. See what this next 1 minute candle does. So we want the next 1 minute candle to break up through 1150. Seems to be struggling up in this $11 area. Yeah, so I think we're selling off a bit here. Give it a second. CCNC also looks like it's coming up. Put CCNC window here. So we'll see if the next time, if this does push over $11 again. If it pushes over $11 and it looks weak like it did before, then we'll probably just sell off our position. Because the last time it pushed over $11, it immediately sold off. So looking really rough. So a lot of selling coming into 1110 here. I would say I'm just gonna sell off the position here. It's just having such trouble holding above $11, and now I'd be holding down to drop through 1050. It'll probably just go straight to view up. So I'm not sold on holding that stock. See if it comes back up, but there was just so much selling coming into these levels as it popped up. So again, now, it just popped up over 1115 again, and immediately sold down to 11. It is struggling. Look at it. On the daily, it doesn't look like there should be a ton of resistance coming up. I mean, the recent highs are only up near $12. And yeah, I mean, on the daily, it looks good. Look back even further, way back there was some more resistance on this, but I don't know. I feel like we've seen a lot of this where it's just, I mean, maybe it's short sellers, but will get bought up really quick coming up on news. At over 8:30 came up on news with some highly secure NFT exchange. We've seen a few of those recently, like in the last week or two. A lot of like NFT platforms being launched and similar stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it's just really popping up on news and then just struggling to hold the levels that they come up to. It's looking a little better right now, holding above 11, but it looks like it's still having a hard time pushing up. And again, we see like that big selling, just like big sell orders coming in, pushing it down below 11 again. It's just unfortunate. CCNC, very light volume, so I don't think I'm going to trade that until we see more volume coming into it. AREC is pulled back completely now. JG sitting below VWAP, essentially no volume being traded on it. BHTG, similar thing. You know, some volume on it, but selling volume mostly. Just sitting below VWAP, not really doing anything. So, AEI just popped up. Pretty sure AEI is a recent IPO. So, I guess it only got listed in the beginning of February. All-time highs of it were back here at $29.50. So it's got a ways to come back to the all-time highs. And pretty light volume, so I don't think I'm going to do anything with that at this exact moment. And SINO really just like, I mean, consolidating in a smaller and smaller range, so I assume whichever direction it breaks out now, it's going to make a pretty nice move. So it's breaking up. Let's see if it has the buying to come back through 1150 or if it's going to get sold off again. And I don't think I'm going to take a trade on this right now. You know, upside of this would be first profit target would be, you know, towards the pre-market highs. You know, up here at 1180. And then we'd have to hold down to, you know, 1045. So that's that's quite the dip to hold through. I would say we can try to play off this ascending support right here. Get some lines out. Got a little bit of ascending support coming in. Yes, descending resistance, but it seems to be breaking down through that first line that I drew already. um, I just don't love the way it's looking. Let's check out OCG. OCG popping up as we weren't looking at it. So it was doing well here. Put in this nice, you know, 5-minute red candle, which is what we were looking for, and then started pushing up while we were looking at. What were we looking at? We were looking at SINO. So missed the trade on this. Unfortunate. Probably this was the one to hold and not SINO. I had bought for the dip off of 1030 back here. And then I sold off, you know, at 1040 when SINO started popping up at 830. So maybe this was the one to hold. But I thought SINO looked like it had more potential because of the way that it was moving. And it just got stopped dead in its tracks, man. Yeah, now it has broken down a little bit, getting closer to VWAP on SINO, so unfortunate. Now we're gonna have to wait on OCG again to find another setup on this. Just put in another really big green 5-minute candle. So we want a little bit of a 1-minute pullback, I guess, if we want to buy into this. Maybe as it gets closer to 12, 1207, we can take a dip trade on it. We'll see if it starts coming down. But, you know, highest volume of the day on that 5-minute candle. So, looking like what we want. And it just did come down and dip off of this 1207 level. Change my lines back. It just dip off of this 1207, which is 1206. Kind of what we're looking for in the dip trade, but it dips off of it. You know, it came down and dipped off of it so fast. Wasn't able to take a buy on it. Cass, thanks for following, man. Really appreciate it. What's going on, dude? Just checking out some stocks this morning. If you want to follow along with me, you can check out oliveguardians.com. I got the scanners up here. I usually watch anything that's moved above 25%. So when I first sit down, this is what I look at to see, you know, what stocks people are going to be interested in as far as like low floats, medium floats. And then like the active moving stocks is anything that's moved up more than 8% in the last 5 minutes, and has had over 50,000 shares of volume traded, I believe. Maybe it's over 40,000 shares of volume traded. So mostly what's popping up on this is going to be lower float, medium float stocks that are, you know, like being actively traded that have just come up on news. And everything I trade throughout the day comes off these scanners. So if you want to follow along with me, check the scanners out. What are you looking around for advice about, I suppose? I will say this with a disclaimer. I am fairly new to trading as well. But I think this is more of, hopefully this channel will be for collective learning. We're all trying to learn at the same time. What do you want advice about, I suppose? Oh no, Discord? Nah, I don't got Discord. You know, you're like the second person to ask me about that. I feel like, do a lot of these trading people have Discords where they just like uh, call out stocks and indicators and stuff? I mean, like, I do appreciate like the need for that sometimes, but I also feel like if so, like, I just look at the scanners that I have up, you know, and then I kind of make like my own judgment calls about the stocks going up. I really don't like to, I guess, like follow or tell people what they should be trading. More like if you see stocks coming up and they look like the kind of thing that you're into, then take a trade on them. That's why, yeah, scanners are up on oliveguardians.com. You can check them out. I run them all day, so if you just want to see, you know, stocks that are moving up pretty quickly, you can just have that sitting up there and, you know, make your own judgment calls whether or not you want to trade it. Yeah, now OCG pushing up again right here. The dip off of 1206 would have been a nice place to buy. Um, unfortunately, I didn't take that dip trade. I see. So you're new to trading. How new to trading are you? Like brand new? I can kind of explain to you what the numbers mean on the scanners if you want to know about those. Oh, you're on Binance, so you're doing crypto stuff. I generally don't trade any crypto stuff. I have like some money on Binance, just kind of like sitting. I own like 0.003% of a Bitcoin or something. So I'm not super into crypto stuff. OCG right now just going off. Thing is making moves. Um so I think probably like the main reason I prefer stocks over crypto is like most of the time if stocks are going up, like you can point directly to a news source, you know, and you could be like, you know, OCG is coming up today because they have plans tied to some new NFT platform that they're creating. You know, like there's like a very tangible reason why, or usually a pretty tangible reason why things happen in the market. Sometimes they're a little bit more opaque, like with GameStop. It's like the short float was very high, so there wasn't actually like a huge reason why it was going up. It's more just like fundamental reasons because a whole bunch of people shorted it, and then people decided to buy it. You know, they all had to cover, and it pushed it up. Whereas like in crypto, those reasons do not exist. Also, there's no like um, I guess I don't know, as far as like short float and stuff, like I don't even think those exist in crypto. The reason why Bitcoin is going up is unclear at best.